Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your Monday Morning Jumpstart. I am Jade Trueblood, joined by AWAI President Rebecca Matter. Hello, Rebecca Matter.
Hello, Jade. I'm so happy to be here again.
Did you just clap for yourself? I didn't need to
I
clap.
clap for you all. Like, this is so fun. I'm having so much fun doing this.
Okay, so if anybody joined us last week, we had a big discussion, and it was about multiple revenue streams, which I do think, as much as like that idea sounds very lovely to anybody, like if you say to somebody do a multiple revenue streams, nobody's gonna say, I do not want multiple revenue
Only
streams.
one.
So, and we did say, the first step is to just create an additional one and start that additional one. And that is a lovely concept, but sometimes that can be like, okay, and so if somebody wants to get off the starting block from that point, what is your advice to them of where to start, how to approach this best?
And I want to acknowledge that. We call it the starting block. A starting block is like the platform at the pool, right? You're starting. You made it on the block. So many people in this world, especially ones who aren't moving forward or aren't moving forward at the speed at which they want or aren't achieving the things they want to achieve, it's because they're still on that block. Like imagine a swimmer, butt in the air, ready to go, right? So you take a course, you decide you're going to do this, you decide you're going to be a copywriter, you get on the
Read
block.
about swimming, right?
Exactly. You read about swimming. Taking a course is getting on the block, right? But now the pool's in front of you. And for some reason, you stay on that block. And usually it's a series of fears. And we have lots of sessions on fears. I highly recommend that you listen to past Monday Morning Jumpstarts with Ted Capshaw. He does a beautiful job of walking us through the stories in our head. And it could be anything from, I don't know what my business name is going to be, to what if I'm going to fail? What if I'm going to succeed? What if I mess up? Like all the things that keep us on the block. But the reality is we just have to get off the block and trust ourselves when we get in the pool. Because once we get in the pool, this is the reality. It's one stroke, and then it's another stroke, and then it's another stroke. It doesn't matter how long the pool is. It doesn't matter what stroke we use. It's just one stroke at a time. And by the way, the pool is very shallow. We can just stand up at any given time and stop and catch our breaths if we want to. We can wear floaties while we swim. There's nothing risky about getting off the block. And for some reason, that is the one thing I wish I could line everybody up and I could just push them in. Because I know once you get in, this is all it is. Being on the block is way scarier than this. Getting in the pool is just one stroke after the other. So the answer for most of us, why do we not get off the block? It's because we don't know what this looks like, the one stroke. And we at AWAI, and I've learned this from one of my wonderful mentors. I've had the lovely experience in this industry. And this industry, I have to say, has some of the nicest teachers and mentors you are ever going to meet. But her name is Dr. Annette Anchild. She's been on Monday Morning Jumpstart with you, Jade. But she was the one who told me years ago, it's all about the next right thing. It's not all the things. It's just the next right thing. You don't need to worry about what happens if. You don't need to worry about 75 steps out. Most fears that people have, and even most ideas of what people believe they need to accomplish first before they get off the block, is not here. It is not the next right thing. And even thinking about it right now is what's keeping them on the block. But we just need them to get into the pool and take the thing. So what is your next right thing? And that could be anything. It could be updating your LinkedIn profile. It could be picking your niche. It could be putting a website. It could be submitting your final assignment for certification so that you get certified. It's not about what it is. It just is the thing. And if we can just focus on the one stroke, everything else becomes a lot less scary.
I just also realized something when you were speaking about this is that maybe it's also the word right that we got to dig into for a second.
Good.
I think when we say right, what we mean is best for you to move forward, not correct, correct, period, right? I think that is what also paralyzes people is the fear of not making a decision, making the wrong decision. But like you said, you can have floaties, you can stand, you can wear goggles, you can do 5 different breaths. So there's multiple options, not one correct option, but there's probably a best one that is right for you, right? So it's almost like a bit of a self-awareness there.
I love that you brought that up because you're right. Right makes us feel like there's a wrong.
Yes.
I
Yes,
love that. I'm glad that you
exactly.
said that. And the answer to that one is always for me, what is the fastest? Like the first stroke is the one that's the fastest because if I get a little win, I call them quick wins. If I get a win, I'm going to feel confident. Oh, I got in the pool and I made a stroke. Yay! Quick win. Can I do another one? Quick win. Quick win. And that's actually going to be something else I want to talk about in a second. But those quick wins are the most important. So pick the thing on your list. You're going to make a list of 6 things that you could do.
Mhm.
What is the right one? The one that when you look at the list, you say, I can do that.
Yes.
That's going to be your fastest because
Doesn't
the
stall
key
you.
is quick win. And what are you actually willing to do, right? Because
Yes.
not all of us want to do the things. Putting up my website, no way, that's too scary. I don't want to do that right now. So I'm going to sit here every day and say, I don't want to do it. So that's not the next right thing. The next right thing for me is I'm going to put my LinkedIn profile, I'm going to write that I'm a professional writer. That's what I'm going to do today, right? Like it's quick win, something that you can accomplish today that's in the pool, one stroke forward. And then it's the next quick win. And then it's the next quick win. And then you're swimming. And then you won't even be thinking about what the next right thing is until you do, until you stall. And I want to talk about that next because there's a reason for that. But it's just so today for this moment of this conversation is like write down 5 things that you could do
Yeah.
as your first stroke, and that will get you off the block and in the pool.
Also, like as you're saying that, don't you feel like so often, and I'm very guilty of this, and I've come to you and Katie many times at this way, everything is here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 20 things I need to do, and I
Yep.
don't know what to do. So I just like freeze, like you were speaking about. But if you write those 20 things down, or you speak to somebody about those 20 things, you're like, you know what, actually, I can send that email. I can tell my friends that I'm now a copywriter. I can create a LinkedIn profile. I don't have to worry about my business name or my leaving, moving,
Yep.
like just when everything that you think you need to do, I would say write it everything down, right? And then maybe even organize it like you're saying. But yes, pick that one. I love that. Pick the easiest next step for you that you are going to do. And then you just keep moving down like that. And I'm sure more things will open up. And there's always our communities are so lovely that if you're like, I don't know if I should do this, somebody will tell you if you ask them. You know what I mean? Like there's support around these when you have doubts for sure. But any other advice for that stalling feeling or that paralyzed? It's true. You do
There's
feel
a reason.
paralyzed.
So like oftentimes when people say that they're overwhelmed, I'll say make a list because if I can see the list, then I can get inside your head. And what you just said is important because step 1 is getting it out of your head. When the
Mm,
thoughts are in the head, that stalls us because that creates anxiety, right?
yeah.
Numerous thoughts, numerous things that we could do creates anxiety. So writing a list is how we tame that because then we have a really clear view. Even when I'm worried about stuff or I have too much on my plate, making the list is the antidote to that because I know the reality. I know the shape of the problem is what I like to say and what is actually real. And then I can start chipping away. So the same thing goes with getting off the block. Those strokes are what are all the things you could do and figuring out the one that is the easiest. So make a list and circle it. And here's the other thing too. Have you ever asked somebody, like your husband, which of these dresses should I wear? And they pick one, and then you know for sure if you want to
Yes.
wear it or if you want to wear the other one.
Yes.
If you can't pick something, give the list to the community and say, what should I work on first? They will say number 3, let's just say, and you will know in your heart in that moment if that's the one you want to do, or I was hoping it was going to be number 6, then do number 6. Because the
Yeah.
one that you actually want to wear, the thing that you actually want to do is the thing that's going to get you in the pool and doing the quick win. So now we're swimming, and this is a series of that. I never leave my desk, and I've employed this activity, gosh, like for 2 decades now. A big fan of a sticky note. I always have 3 things on my sticky note. Those are my quick wins for the next day or my must-dos. So I never leave my desk without writing and slapping. And now I have a little glass whiteboard here, but I always write down what I'm going to do when I sit down the next day, because then I never have to come back and be like, what should I work on today? And down the rabbit holes of social media and emails and messages and texting and all the things, right? I sit down at my desk every day and I know the next thing I'm going to do. So keep that list forward. And before you close up for the night, write the next thing, slap it on your laptop, slap it on your board, whatever you want to do, and know what you're going to be doing the next day. That will keep you swimming. Now, then what's going to happen is your list will start to get, the items on the list will get bigger. So the quick wins, the strokes early on are things like putting up a LinkedIn profile, changing out my profile picture, like those are the strokes, right? Later on, it's going to be something bigger. And that is when you're going to lose touch with what the next right thing is. And the reason you're going to stall is because the next right thing became too big. So, for example, we have a friend with us, Jackie, who was working on our YouTube channel. And she came, I said, what's going on? Why are we moving forward with the project? Because she was out of the gate so fast. She was in the pool, she was swimming, and all of a sudden, nothing. I was like, what happened? Show me the list. And on her list, she said, well, I have to learn things like I've got to learn this AI thing, and I've got to learn this other coding thing, and I've got to figure out, I've got to do this research. And I'm like, okay, but those are things, those are not the next right thing. So that's a list of things. This is not all one thing. You don't have to learn about AI right now. You have to learn about this thing. And learning about AI with, as it pertains to YouTube and social media, that's potentially 20 things, right? So even if you just take that one item, the item has become so big, it has created a stall, and we're back up on a block again because I got to learn all the things about AI. Well, no, you don't have to learn all the things about AI. You just learn one thing. That's your next right thing is I'm going to learn how to pull 10 seconds out of the middle to create a short. Okay, I can do that in a day. That feels easy. There's a YouTube video for that, right? So sometimes if you stall and all of a sudden you find yourself on the block or you find yourself getting anxious again, it's because you've identified a next right thing that's just too big. And the solution is breaking it into lots of next right things. So whenever you stall, just know the next thing that you have on your list is probably too big and you got to break it into 7 pieces. And if you
Yeah.
do that, now you have 7 next right things and you will find yourself naturally swimming again. That's the
And
solution.
look at the list of the things you did and remind yourself you're capable and able to do the thing.
So good before you pick
Yeah.
your feet back up off the floor to look back and say, man, look how far I already swam.
Yes.
Very important as well. I'm glad that
Yes.
you brought that up.
Well, I mean, so I think today's homework for everybody is actually very straightforward. You're going to create a list of all the things that you think that you need to do in order to move forward, wherever that is for you, the next 20 things, whatever, 5, 20, whatever. And then you're going to pick the one easiest thing and you're just going to do that one thing. And you're going to start there. You're going to come and tell us that you did the thing and then what's next and next and next.
I love that.
So
So make sure you
exciting.
figure out the thing. And if you need us to help you, put it in the comments, come to the AWI community. We'll tell you which one we think, and then you'll know for sure which one you're actually going to do.
I love that. All right. Thank you, Rebecca. And thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.